Hello, my name is Luke. That was a train, and this is my cottage, Lineview. So, over the next couple of years, I'm hoping to renovate the house and bring a bit of life back into it in whatever form that may take. And I want to document it and share that online for people like you to watch. So, I hope you enjoy the journey. This is the beginning of it, and it's raining, so I'm going to go inside. So, Lineview is a railway cottage built around 1850. It has a main living room with the fire, which is where I am now. It has a bedroom on the other side, and then out the back there's a small kitchen and a bathroom. Then upstairs there's a ladder you can use to get into a small sleeping space, and then there's some attic space that isn't being used at the moment. Out the back there's a yard that's about a third of an acre, I think. So yeah, it's a nice size. It's a good size to be renovating where nothing feels too huge. At the moment I'm coming to the house for about a week or so at a time and just doing what work I can, and then as we come into spring and summer I'm hoping to bring more people along, and hopefully we'll have some nice ideas for what can be done and do some interesting projects. This is my camera setup, GoPro attached to my bike. So this is what I'm working on right now, which is bashing away at these thorns and such with the stick. Turns out a strimmer is a very slow way of doing this kind of thing, and almost always I've sort of found most of the solutions to problems I've had has been just using your hands or a stick or something a bit sharp or a shovel. It's been very non-mechanized. But the reason I wanted to mention this is my previous bit that I'd been working on was here, and I've just bashed this all down to the ground, and I started doing the same here. But then I had a bit of an idea, because inside here, if we walk in, actually looks quite nice. It's a bit hard to see on camera, but once that's cleared out, it's a little hideaway. So I've decided that instead of bashing this all down and just leaving the tree there, I'm going to leave this section here, so there's a bit of an entrance space, and then it's created a nice secluded space. So the reason I bring that up is I feel like it's a nice way of doing things, and it's the kind of thing I've sort of been finding here, which is by taking things slowly and considering their use in their space, a lot of different ideas emerge. So the whole emergent ideas thing, I think, is great. So there's things like, I'll show it later, but the firewood storage there is just using other stuff that was being thrown out. And then here it's not taking away everything too quickly and just taking away what's needed to create something interesting. And maybe it will work and maybe it won't, but it's just, yeah, a slow and gentle approach leads to some interesting ideas. So this cat has come to join me, and yeah, I'm wondering if it's the reason that there aren't too many shrews around, which is lovely. If you are the reason there aren't many shrews around, thank you. What's your name? No. guess you don't want to give your name. You're a nice cat, though. Hope we don't disturb your little sanctuary too much, if this is your little sanctuary. Are you hunting for birds? No, I think you might be hunting for birds. So the inside of the house doesn't get any mobile phone coverage. So anytime I want to come out and download podcasts or get in touch with people or receive messages and things, I can come out here and just walk around in circles and stamp down all the thorns and everything, and I think that's the most effective way of slowly getting rid of them. So I think that's what I'll keep doing. So to give a quick summary of what the house has and does not, it has nice thick stone walls, it has a roof that mostly is in good enough state, it has heat from the fire, it has water but not drinking water, because the water that the house has just comes from the roof into a tank and then is rainwater essentially, so you can't drink that. But it also has some incredible walks and beautiful areas around it. So it has a lot of potential, let's say, but there's a lot of work to be done. So over the next while I'm going to find out exactly how much work needs to be done, what I can do and what I can't, and we'll work it out from there. So this is the kitchen. So we have our 4 gas hobs, old toaster, storage for tea and coffee and stuff. Down here is an oven, some storage for extra plates and cups and such. On the countertop then here there's just a countertop, a drying rack, sink, and the taps that are running from upstairs. Then on this side there is random bits and the water pump, our drinking water, some food storage. It's inside a tub, so it can be left when there's no one in the house. Inside here is some storage for other bits and pieces, and there's some hanging pots and pans here, and that's the current bin setup, which is not ideal. So what I'm going to do now is just empty everything out. Oh, and then in the bottom corner here there is the gas can and a small fridge that's about 10 litres and 2 cutlery drawers. So I'm going to empty everything out now and tidy it up and put it back together. It's generally just a bit messy. The walls and everything are looking a bit rough. There's a lot of cleaning to do. here's the contents of the kitchen, and here is a train. Okay, that's the kitchen emptied. Only thing left is the oven and the gas canister, because I don't want to disconnect those. Otherwise though, we're clear, so time to get cleaning. I'm kind of thinking of this whole work as a kind of 3-phase thing. So phase 1 is what I'm doing right now, which is tidying up and building and fixing some bits and pieces and coming up with some interesting ideas, but it's all stuff that can be redone, or mostly stuff that can be can be removed if needed and replaced. So basically, because I don't really have any experience with this kind of thing, I'm more comfortable doing things where if it doesn't work out, or if I come up with a better design or idea in a year or so's time, then we can just redo it. So that also means using the same or existing materials and doing things cheaply, because I do not have the money to make too many mistakes. And so I'm keeping it all within the realm of what I can accomplish myself, or myself plus some friends. So now the sun is setting, so it's time to tidy up and put things back together. It is the start of March 2021, and I've been here for about a week, and a lot of the time has just been spent tidying things up, moving things around, organising the backyard. So I've built a storage place for firewood, and then basically just improving the place a bit, as well as having lots of conversations with people walking by. So there's loads of lovely people that come by walking, that know more about the history of the area than I do, and I've had some interesting ideas for what the house could be used for as well that I'll have to consider. I think at the start of the week I thought the roof would be okay and there were some areas that needed patching, but now after being on the roof and looking around, there's more work than I was hoping there'd need to be. So that's going to be a big job, quite possibly meaning taking the entire roof off and replacing it. So here is one thing that needs to be worked on. I had a bath, and what you're looking at here is the piping network for getting any water out of the house. So right along this pipe, which is burst or rusted at the top, so it's mostly just leaking out onto the ground here, but then what remains comes down this pipe into this Also up here is the outflow from the kitchen sink, and I'm assuming the outflow from the bathroom sink is somewhere there as well. This pipe, I don't really know what it is, but possibly just venting. So there isn't air pockets or something, but it's just flowing into here and doesn't seem to be going anywhere else. So does that mean we just don't have a sewerage system, or what is the deal? To be worked out. So today is the last day that I'm here for this trip. There's been a storm overnight and it's still going, but at some point I'll need to hop on my bike and head to the train station and get myself back to Dublin. Yeah, so today the main thing to do is to tidy up and basically get the place to a good enough state for whenever I come visiting next. Every time I come here, I have some ideas of what jobs I think I'll get done, and almost always they're not the jobs that actually get done. So that was definitely the case on this trip. I planned to repaint the hallway with a second coat and didn't do that. I planned to seal in the bedroom window with expanding foam, but didn't do that because at some point the window is going to need to be taken out to be restored or replaced, and removing expanding foam is very difficult. So I don't want to do anything that will cause me further headaches down the line, especially at this stage when I'm still working out what I'm doing. So yeah, there's lots of decisions to be made around the house, and I think I'm trying to space them out to give myself as much time as possible with them because they're big decisions. And I think that's another reason that I'm trying to come here as often as possible. Even if I'm not getting a huge amount of work done, being in the space helps me think through decisions. So, one big one is with the ceiling in this room. So the ceiling is nearly 3 meters high from the ground, which is very high, especially for a room that's only about 4 or 5 meters long at its longest. But I was thinking the idea would be to make this ceiling lower so there'd be more usable space upstairs. But actually, I'm not sure if we need more usable space upstairs. There's enough space above this room to work as a normal attic, which I think is all we need. But also, this room having a very high roof makes it quite unique and means the room doesn't feel small, even though it is not very large in terms of floor space. And I don't want to take away the things that make the house unique unless there's a very good reason to. So I think actually the way the ceiling is now and the height that it is now might be the way to keep it. So I think that's how a lot of the different thought processes are going, where I'll come into the house and have some ideas, but I'll think it over, I'll consider each day the values of different things and the downsides of each, and then after a few days hopefully come to some sort of conclusion. There's a lot of work to be done, and I think over the next couple of weeks and months I'll realise exactly how much. But I'm looking forward to it. I think that's it for episode 1. If you enjoyed, or if you know people that might enjoy this and be interested in the journey I'm embarking on, please do the whole internet like, share, comment stuff. See you next time.